Alright guys, another round of updates coming up this week for free add-ons. By the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe for future notifications on flight simming, updates, patches, anything that's interesting in flight simming. This is your place. So first up in line is an interesting airport that's been developed by a flying club and a training academy, which is the Akaflieg Freiburg. So they've come out with the Freeburg Airfield that's located in Germany. It's EDTP in short, and this airport has been there since 1907. That served the military for parades and located exactly in the Brule district. It features a 1.4 kilometer runway that's equipped with a PAPI approach and a night lighting system. It's a good recreation of this iconic German GA airfield. The developers suggest that the scenery represents a good overhaul to the original airport that feature 3D models of construction that include the control tower, areas that include restaurants, aircraft hangars, and the firehouse. The ground layout has good amount of details, and the developers mention that this is just the pilot phase of the airport, as this would receive more updates going forward. Now that's a good way of approaching towards doing business, and this is definitely a win-win because users like us can try out the airport and then make a decision on whether or not we would go with this developer in the coming future. The top features in this airport include custom created 3D buildings and construction position of parking areas that's been accurate, runway with an elevation profile, and enhanced refueling station. I'm going to include the link to this free airport that can be found in the description below. It's definitely an interesting airport and a good pilot phase for this developer, as we can observe many areas that have been touched that also include good use of photogrammetry. Next up in line is the DG Fludzeubau 8OS. I hope I pronounced it right. It's a free add-on. Yup, it's a good one by the way. It's a legacy model that's been developed on the FSX platform. It's been going through varieties of iterations by the development team, and Marko is the lead for this effort. This add-on contains various improvements like modern flight models, upgraded gauges, replaced sounds, and updated textures. So it's a work in progress for the specific model. Now this is not an official model, just so you know. It's a free add-on that's been taken off and ported, rather it's a ported model if I may say so. And further work towards this would be continued to bring better gauges, functionality, visual quality, and realistic flight performance. If you observe how the flight looks, it doesn't look 100%, but the feel is pretty good and the performance too. The link to this free add-on can be found at the description below. You can find more information including the steps to install with the given link. Next up in line is the Tweed New Haven Airport that's been released by Orbx. Now Orbx, there's definitely no need for introduction here. It's been released a few days ago, which is the New Haven Airport, a small town in Connecticut, one of the most beautiful states in the US. Jordan Gu, who's the lead developer for this effort, has come out with this airport which has used a good amount of photogrammetry details, buildings that have good details, as well as custom ground poly. It's a small airport and a few airlines fly through this. It's not necessarily a hub, and you can find plenty of details including static aircraft in the airport along with ground services that are functional. We can also find good amount of PBR textures that's been used for this, and it's sold for $14, which can be purchased at orbxdirect.com. One of the top features for this airport is that the ground services are functional, which is a plus. Some airports do not have ground services, and you can find that a little aggravating. The airport buildings are accurate accurate with high definition. Ground poly has been utilized in full PPR along with good details in the region, which include the use of photogrammetry. One of the most important factors in this airport is the performance. Performance is one of the key things when it comes to flight simming. Many times we can purchase items and never realize that the performance gets a big hit. But in this airport, there are no issues in performance along with quality. So Orbx tries to balance them quite well, and this is a fun little airport that has all these details spread out. And if you're from this area, this is a good choice as it's well developed and imitates the actual airport. The last update is a new change towards the Carenado PA-44 Seminole. There's a new version out there, so make sure you update this at the Microsoft Marketplace. It includes numerous fixes and changes towards this aircraft, but the change log actually includes just 3 items. It has many fixes in it. This aircraft was released in November of last year, which is just 2 months ago, and you can find a video for this in our description below if you would like to have a look. It's a good aircraft, one of our favorites amongst the Carenado brand. It's quite a beautiful aircraft. It has a good amount of range, and the main fixes that have gone towards this model in the version 1.2 is that the HSI CDI has been fixed along with GS indications. There are further improvements in the exterior part of the plane as well as performance. So there's been a lot of efforts that's been taken care to deliver this aircraft to be much more functional and more realistic. There have been many other changes towards this aircraft in all aspects that include the GNS 530, the engine and wind sound effects, the PPR materials and textures that have been upgraded, and many more. So don't forget to update this bad boy. Alright guys, I hope you had fun watching this video. Thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. We're going to expect many updates coming along the way for flight simming. This is more like a flight simming community rather than a channel, so make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned and take care guys.